After 10 months of travel, we have decided to downsize from having checked bags with us to carry-on only. And we have thought we would share with you some of the things that we initially took with us that we have decided to leave behind. If you're new around here, I'm Rob.
I'm David.
And we are 10 degrees warmer. We are a long-term couple who are traveling the world. We're on the first year of a 4-year sabbatical, and we are here to kind of give you an example of what is possible and maybe help you with your packing. So where do we want to start? I guess that we should say...
Show the bags.
Let's say, in the beginning, we decided to go with checked bags because of a few very specific items. Like, we have traveled carry-on only in the past, but we had a few things that we wanted to bring with us that required being checked. So we had, what did we have? We had a kitchen knife that we were bringing with us. We had some hair cutting scissors.
A couple pairs of scissors.
Because we cut each other's hair. What else?
Some large liquids that we just like to have with us.
One of the things we found is that sunscreen can be very expensive when you are traveling. So we brought a couple of very big bottles with us so we just wouldn't have to worry about it. And then because we decided to go with check-in, we got a little bit bigger bags than we probably really needed. And kind of the issue with luggage is you think, oh, we'll get extra bags so we have extra space and just not pack it all the way. You fill the space. Whatever space you have, you fill it, and we totally filled it. So we both got the same bag. It is an Osprey 70-liter Farpoint. It comes with, this is the main 55-liter bag, and then it comes with a carry-on size, or a day pack, that attaches to the front. It zips on, which is kind of nice, but then you can take it out, and we use this as a day pack when we would walk around and do hikes. This was way more than we needed, but we absolutely filled it to the max. And then, just because we could, we brought another bag.
Yeah, we have a lot of electronics that we travel with, and so we wanted to be able to carry those with us on the airplane and not check those. Yeah. So we got a pretty large size bag. So this is another big space that is not coming with us on the trip. So this is what is coming with us. We have, this one's already packed. We have this bag.
So this is, let me look at it because I don't even remember what it's called. We got this off of Amazon. It is called a Nevo Rhino. It's a 45-liter bag. So here's something that we kind of didn't take our own advice on. I tend to think we travel pretty cheaply. Our general budget is like $50 a day. But when it comes to equipment, I'm not opposed to buying really nice things and spending money up front because it lasts longer. Like, I think spending money on quality is worth it. However, because we just bought these big bags that now we're already getting rid of, we didn't want to buy a really nice bag. There's still some options for us. There's 40-liter bags, 45-liter bags, and we kind of wanted to experiment a little bit. Luckily, because we slow travel, we don't put our bags through as much rough and tumble as we used to when we were backpacking and throwing bags under buses and moving every 3 days. Now we kind of go to a place and we sit there for a month, so they're not getting as much wear and tear. I don't think these are going to be long-term bags for us, but hopefully it'll give us an idea if this size is going to work for us, and then later on down the line, we'll upgrade to a nicer bag once we know the size that we want.
Yes, so we'll have 2 of those bags, and we also bought 2 new day packs that are a little bigger than the ones that came with the large check pack.
So it'll just be a small little day pack that we can, stow under the seat. Because kind of a big reason we did this is we were tired of paying for checked bags. So hopefully that will solve that problem. We do travel, though, a lot on budget airlines, especially in Asia. We're going to be going to Europe this next year. And I imagine our weight might be an issue, so we might still have to pay. But I still just think having less stuff with us is going to be so much nicer. We've been lugging all this stuff around that we don't use as much as we thought we might. And I think just downsizing is going to be so much better.
I already feel a bit of relief just knowing I don't have to carry those massive heavy bags because we have carried them miles.
Yeah.
We have had to take several breaks in our trips across cities. So I am happy about that.
We
change.
are big walkers. We are taxi averse, and so there are some of those cities in Australia where we'd get off the bus and we'd have like 2 miles to walk to our hotel, and we did it, and it was fine. But it's going to be nicer with less stuff. Okay, so let's go through some of the stuff we've decided not to bring with us.
Yes. So bags. We brought tons of little bags. Like this one, and this one that we put shoes in, or toiletries, or. We put everything in little bags, and combined, there was a lot of bulk.
We're not packing cube people, but we kind of tried it a little bit, and it was nice to keep things organized, but we didn't get good ones. They were too bulky. And because we're getting rid of stuff, we just didn't need as many of them.
And with such small bags, I don't feel like packing cubes are as important this time.
Yeah. We've never been packing cube people. I know that's controversial for some who are very into packing cubes. I just find that they're more hassle than they're worth, and they don't fit as well. I can't get as much stuff in my bags when I use packing cubes. So. Okay. All right. Next, let me just show this. So this is my clothes that I'm not bringing. Like, I brought way too many clothes. I had dress shirts, I had extra shirts, I had a tank top that I did not wear one time. I think the older that I get, I'm much more worried about skin cancer. And so I don't wear tank tops when I go to the beach because I don't want that exposure. I've got this vest that I actually love this vest, but it's for that kind of in-between temperature. And I've got my sweatshirt already. I don't need to have all this stuff. It's nice to have because I had the room. I think other than the tank top, I think I did wear everything. But I brought like 3 pairs of pants. I don't need 3 pairs of pants. So I just downsized. I think David had a similar pile of clothes that we just kind of decided we do laundry enough. You know, we tend to do Airbnbs, and many of them have washer and dryer, so it's very easy to do laundry.
Yeah. And I don't mind spending a little time in the sink scrubbing. So
we just downsized our clothes, and we're bringing less.
Yeah. Toiletries. So I don't think there's anything we didn't use toiletry-wise, but we brought a lot of extra stuff.
Yeah.
We had extra toothbrushes and extra razors and we had lots of extra things. So little wipes and just all kinds of stuff that we didn't need extras of because we're going to buy those at some point anyways, so we can just buy them when we're on the road.
Again, we had the room. We're like, oh, we'll bring this so we don't have to buy it 3 months later. But then it just turns into extra bulk that you're lugging around that you don't even really need.
Yeah.
So this is a bicycle lock that you can use to kind of secure your bags to like a bedpost or something. We have used these in the past. I mean, that's why we had it to bring with us.
15 years ago.
Yeah, but we're not staying in hostels anymore. I'm not so worried about locking my bag up, on a bus. And so we brought this with us and never used it, so we decided not to.
Plus another lock, which is pretty heavy. And we actually did use this once last year. We had an apartment that had a lock on the outside.
That was the weirdest Airbnb. Like, it literally had a padlock on the outside of the front door.
So someone could have easily locked
us in. It was super scary. So we put our own lock in it, so it was
and locked it open.
Locked it in the open position. Very random.
Another thing we're not bringing are flashlights and headlamps. We bought these headlamps because we thought we would use them all the time. We bought them for the blue volcano in Indonesia, which we were going to hike to.
Which we didn't even make it, but we were going to try.
And also we wanted to do caving and walking at night. I don't know what we were thinking.
We had big plans for these headlamps.
We actually did use them. We walked the Grand Canyon a couple years ago. So we're not bringing that. We find we don't need flashlights like we used to.
Because our phones have flashlights on them if we were really in an emergency situation.
And really the whole world is modernizing so much, we rarely come across blackouts anywhere anymore.
Yeah.
When we're staying places. So none of that.
It was a lot of bulk for really no reason. Here's something. So this, I guess, is a little bit of a cheat. We have a bunch of these outlet converters that we've carried with various levels of success. These ones themselves, they're separate. I don't like these because they're too easy to plug in and forget one piece of it. They fall apart in our bags. We did have one that was a complete one, and we're still going to bring that. But all these little ones that we bought individually, we're not going to take those with us anymore.
Wet bags. I know everyone says bring a wet bag with you. We had this one, and we had a large one about that big. And again, never use them. And we do things, we go hiking through rivers and all kinds of things where you might want a wet bag, and yet we still never use them. And we've been fine. So we are not bringing wet bags.
I was insistent we bring wet bags. We have had them for 15 years. Haven't used them one single time.
So
so this is a little interesting. I don't know if this will intrigue anybody. This is a product I saw online, and I actually bought it. I think it's called Belt Buddy or Belt Bro or something. But they're these little Velcro things that if you don't have a belt, you can just run these through the loops of your pants and tighten it and use it as a belt. And I don't really use a belt very often, but I find that when I travel, sometimes my clothes, they get stretched out as you're using them. And so I thought these would be really great to have just to tighten my pants. And really it came in 3 sizes, and the only ones I ever used was the smallest ones. So I've been carrying these sizes around with me for 10 months. Like, they're brand new. I haven't even used them. So I will still bring the smaller ones because I might use them, but I'm not bringing these extra ones.
We also each had a belt that had a zipper in the back so you could hide money within your belt.
Yeah.
We never did that.
Yeah. Well, I never did. So this is my belt. And again, I've had this belt probably for 20 years. I think the very first time I bought it, I wore it just to say that I was doing it, but then it stayed in my backpack the rest of the time. Again, I brought it this time. I don't even know why I brought it. I hate it. It's uncomfortable. We don't really carry that much cash on us that I feel like I need to hide it in my belt. I'm not bringing it anymore. I'm getting rid of it.
Yeah. Just little things we had a lot of. This is a portable rain poncho. Mm-hmm. We have other rain ponchos that we carry with us, and yet we needed a backup. I don't know.
I think we got those for something else, and we had them in the drawer, and we thought, oh, we have room. We'll just throw 2 of these in there, and then they just sat there. A couple of other electronics, because we've got a lot of these. This is an adapter I bought for my computer, so I can plug it in, and then it's got a whole bunch of different things so that you can plug in various equipment. I have used these in the past, but on our trip, I haven't used this once. Everything that I've got has the right adapter or fits in the computer or somewhere else. So I don't really need this. I mean, I spent a little bit of money getting this too. It wasn't super cheap. It's nice, but I don't use it, so I'm not bringing it with me. Another thing I have is our, it's not a Roku, what is this? An Amazon Fire Stick. We've used this to, we can watch stuff on TV. But what we found that we don't really watch that much TV. And the few times that we have, we just watch it on the computer, plugging this into the TV and then remembering not to leave it has just been too much hassle. We just don't watch enough TV to make it worth it. So again, I've been carrying this around for 10 months, haven't used it even one time. Again, I paid a little bit of money for this, and in general, I think this is a good piece of equipment. We just don't use it, so there's no need to keep carrying it around.
Some kitchen stuff. We had a spatula we brought with us because we also had 2 of these boxes full of forks and knives and chopsticks and spoons. And we do use these, but we decided to downsize, and we now have 2 sporks.
Yeah.
And that is all we're bringing with us this time.
Yeah, just making things smaller. Okay, this is going to be perhaps a controversial one too, is our Kindle. This has been a lifesaver. I mean, I remember back in, 2001 when I was lugging around like 4 or 5 books because I have guidebooks, I'd have books that I was reading. And it was a lot of weight. And so getting a Kindle where I could put everything onto here and not have to lug all that weight around was amazing. But again, what I found is that when I get a book, I'm reading it on my computer. I don't need the Kindle. It's the battery is dead because we haven't even charged it this entire trip. We're not using it. I'm not bringing it.
Glasses. I cannot see a thing without my reading glasses. And so for some reason, I thought I needed about 12 pairs tucked in every pocket of every bag.
To be fair, you do lose them.
I do lose them sometimes, but I didn't need as many pairs as I had. So there is a pile of glasses that are staying behind.
We do have a bunch of cords. Well, let me start with this. So this is a charger. It's an old iPhone app, charger that's got the old kind of connection here. It's very slow, but it works. And so I've been using this to charge my phone. However, and then I had lots of cables, these really long ones, so I could charge it by the bed. And then because of course cables die, I had extra cables just in case. And what I decided to do is, because I was tired of carrying around all these cables, I upgraded and I've got a magnetic charger now for my phone. And so I'm getting rid of this. These blocks by themselves aren't too heavy, but we have like 3 of these and they just add up. And so getting rid of even one, I'm happy to get rid of the weight. I'm getting rid of all these cords. We also have this pile of cords. I'm not even sure what they're to, but we had too many backup cords. Where a lot of cords you can use for multiple devices. You don't need a cord for each device. Yeah, we would bring
the cord that came with each individual thing.
And so this is just another couple of cords that were duplicates that we decided to get rid of.
Office supply type stuff. I like to have some pens and paper around, but we are leaving behind a couple of pads of paper. We don't need as much as we had. Yeah. We had extra Sharpies and extra pens.
Yeah.
I just went through all of our pens and threw out all of the ones that no longer worked anymore.
The ink dries out, yeah. What else do we have? So a couple of things. So we both had one of these. It's a linen towel, which is actually kind of nice to have. We've used these on previous trips, so we brought this with us. This can be a towel if you stay someplace that doesn't have one. You can use it, to lay out, set down and sit on when you go to the beach or something like that. We've used them in the past, so we brought them with us. But now that we're staying more in like Airbnbs and hotels, they always have a towel. We've been carrying this for 10 months, haven't used it once, so leaving that behind.
Yeah. We also each had a sarong. And we traveled a lot in Southeast Asia, in which these came in handy. We would go to a temple that would require wearing one, and so we would do that. We also would use these as towels or something to lay on at the beach. So we use them for quite a bit, but not enough to carry it around.
Yeah, most of the time in this last trip, I was using that. When I would take a nap, I would fold it up and put it over my eyes. I just replaced it with a sleep mask. It's going to be much less bulk. Another thing, this is just a little blanket. I've used this so many times in the past, like on long buses, or even just at night or to take a nap or something. It's just a little blanket. This is something we've used, but it's not something we really need. And again, it's pretty bulky, so we just decided to leave it behind. What else do we got here? This is yours.
Yeah, we had this. This actually we stopped bringing about halfway through our last trip because neither of us really use these. Some people love them. We don't use them. So
this one, it's got a zipper on it, and so like for me, I took out the fluff, and then I could just put clothes or something in it, which is a little hack, I guess, if you're on an airplane and trying to get extra stuff in. But even the little thing that I had in my pack, it's a good hack if you use it. We never did. And so we're just decided to get rid of them.
Anything else here? This?
That's just a little like toiletry or like a
mesh bag, a laundry bag.
Like a laundry bag. But again, because we're staying in places a long time, we're not, when we were moving every 3 days on past trips, we needed a place to hold our dirty laundry. But now we're there for a month. We're just doing it before we leave. And so we haven't used it at all. It didn't really take up much space. It's just a little mesh bag, but we don't need it, so we're not bringing it.
That's it. I also left a few things at my parents' house when I was staying up there. The knife, a cutting mat, the scissors.
The cutting board, I'm very curious to see.
Because
We did use it. Not every place has cutting boards, and so it was nice to have. But since we're getting rid of the knife, we just decided to get rid of that too, because it was thin. It was just a little plastic, but it was pretty big. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, a bag full of carabiners and
just in case stuff.
Just in case stuff. Travel notes. I took notes on pretty much every country in the world and had a piece of paper with all the wheres and whats and hows in every country. And it was a stack like this thick, and I carried it around everywhere and never opened it. I can do that research so easily online.
Yeah, we have really put a lot of our stuff online. We use Google Docs, notes, stuff like that. But we're just both of that age where I like putting pen to paper. I like having little notebooks. I like having something I can write down. So we do have little notebooks that we each use for different stuff, but we're still in the process of getting rid of a lot of that paper that we're just carrying around.
We left behind a pair. We were traveling with 3 pairs of binoculars because we are that big of bird nerds. So we're leaving one of those pairs behind.
We only need 2.
We had a big bulky shopping bag because when we shop, we like to not use the plastic bag from the store. So we like to have our own bags with us. But we had some really thick, heavy canvas ones, and we found some nice, thin, heavy-duty ones that will take some less space.
So just replace that. Yeah.
And what's the last thing? A baseball cap. I have another hat that I wear almost all the time when I'm out in the sun because it covers more of my head. So the baseball cap is gone.
All right. Is that... Oh, the only other thing... So, because we started out, it was still COVID. There were still mask requirements in places. We brought with us a lot of masks. So we had a ton of them. I mean, we used quite a few of them.
In the beginning.
But we still had tons left over because we just didn't know what to expect. So we totally brought way more than we needed. So we still are going to bring some masks with us. Just to be on the safe side and just to be prepared, but we're not bringing as many as we had one of these bags totally just stuffed full of them. We had a bunch of tests, all that kind of stuff, and we just don't need to have as many as we had. Yeah. Is that everything? I think that's everything. So yeah, this is just what we're downgrading from. There's some really good stuff here if it's something that you use. But for us at this point, I think the most important thing is we just want to have less. I think there are some of this stuff we might have to buy in the place that we go if we decide we need it later. But most often, you can buy this stuff. And so carrying all this stuff just in case, I think just isn't worth it to us anymore.
Yeah, let us know what you carry or don't carry with you. What you think we are ridiculous for leaving behind.
Or what you think is ridiculous that we brought in the first place.
That we even brought at all. 12 pairs of glasses, yes.
So the best way you can support us if you enjoyed this video is hitting that subscribe button. We'd like to see you to come back. We do release a new video every Sunday, so we will see you next week.
Smack. Whoa. Whoa. Okay.
This guy.
Today and not tomorrow.